That gate took like 7 minutes to pry.
Which is a good thing.
Somebody decides to break into Frost Bistro, come try to steal some money, steal the safe. Why not just do something in life to earn money and find something else to do? That's when they come out with the safe.
That's crazy. You know, it totally messes up your whole, like, your mental, you know what I'm saying?
Kirk thought about this choice for a long time, looking at every detail and thinking about how it would affect his son, Kannon. After months of deep reflection, he knew it was the right moment. The legal documents were signed, and he officially asked the court for full custody of his child.
Sometimes I feel like we can't catch a break. You know, we're in the middle of filing for full custody. I've been in court with this situation. Then, you know, we get broken into. It's always something on top of something. It totally puts me in a bad space with even moving forward with buying more property. It makes me feel like we might need to rethink and pause on the next move. I feel all kinds of ways right now because it's like, damn. You know, this being in the public eye sometimes, we just get targeted. Like, people just think, you know, let's just go break in their house. You know, they broke in Spice's house, they broke in Sierra's house, they came to my house twice. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad to be able to stay in business and provide great food and a great business for people to come to.
And what's crazy is this is something I normally would connect with Yandy with, since she's had incidents with her restaurants too, but it's like some in the water or something, because everybody's arguing, even Yandy. She came at me and Spice about some mess about Mendices and trying to act like I ain't have her back again. Crazy. Yandy. I mean, you know, I ain't got no problem with nobody for real, but my thing is like, you gotta be mindful of that.
At least y'all used to be like, it was like cliques. Now it seemed like
everybody just doing whatever, all over the place.
That crew, I don't know what the happened.
After kind of like replaying this whole situation, I felt like if somebody is your friend, you don't come in on the accused. Whatever Yandy and Mendices got going on in their household that's trickling all outside, that has nothing to do with me or my husband. End of story. Sometimes, you know, friendships change and...
Bro, like, what's going on here? Now, just take me off your radar. Don't come here with we got enough going on. I see Jasmine is recruiting. She's hanging around your girlfriend. We need to really, truly rethink.
Everybody. A bitch too old to be having to maintain and maintenance people. I want to protect my...
Kirk had spent months thinking about this decision. It wasn't something he took lightly. He had gone over every possibility, considered every outcome, and weighed the impact it would have, not just on him, but on his son, Kannon. In the end, there was only one choice he could make. For Kannon's safety, for his future, Kirk had to take action. It wasn't going to be easy, but he knew deep in his heart that it was necessary. With a steady hand, he signed the legal documents. The request for full custody had been filed, first false. A long time, Kirk had tried to make things work with Jasmine. He had put in effort, given her chances, and hoped things would change. But no matter how hard he tried, the problems between them only got worse. Their relationship, already fragile, had begun to crumble. The tension never went away. There were constant fights, endless disagreements, and an unshakable sense of instability in their co-parenting dynamic. Jasmine's unpredictable behavior had pushed Kirk to his limit. Her mood swings were exhausting, her actions manipulative. Too often, she used Kannon as a tool to control Kirk, to get her way, to hurt him when she was angry. He couldn't let his son grow up in a household filled with so much chaos. Kannon deserved better. He deserved a home where he felt safe, where he didn't have to be caught in the middle of adult conflicts, where he could simply be a child. The choice was clear. Kirk had to fight for full custody, no matter how difficult the road ahead might be. The morning after filing the custody papers, Kirk woke up with a sense of unease. He knew Jasmine would find out soon, and he knew she wouldn't take it well. His lawyer had reassured him that this was just a step in the process, that things would unfold as they should. His friends told him to stay strong. "It'll be okay." "Kirk, she'll come around," they said. But he knew better. Jasmine wouldn't understand. She never did. As the day dragged on, Kirk tried to focus on work, but his thoughts kept drifting to Kannon. He hadn't seen his son in days. Jasmine had kept him away before, and she was doing it again. This was another one of her tactics, a way to assert control, to to remind Kirk that she still held power. But this time, he wouldn't give in. He wouldn't let her use Kannon as a pawn anymore. Just as the sun dipped below the horizon, there was a loud knock at the door. Kirk froze. He knew who it was before even checking. His chest tightened as he walked toward the door. He hesitated for a moment, taking a deep breath before peeking through the peephole. Jasmine stood outside. Her face was flushed, her eyes filled with rage. Even through the small glass, Kirk could see the storm brewing inside her. He barely had time to react before the door flew open, pushed with such force that it nearly knocked him back. "You think you can just take him away from me?" she hissed, stepping inside. Her hands were clenched into fists, her whole body shaking with fury. "You think you have the right to rip Kannon out of my arms?" Her voice cut through the room like a knife. Kirk took a step back, steadying himself. He had expected a confrontation, but nothing could have fully prepared him for this. She looked completely unhinged, like a woman on the edge, someone who felt like she had lost everything. There was desperation in her eyes, but there was also anger. So much anger. Kirk forced himself to stay calm. "Jasmine, this isn't helping anything. You're only making things worse." She let out a bitter laugh, her eyes flashing with disbelief. "You think I'm the one making things worse? You're the one stealing him from me. You're taking my son away, and I will never let you do that." Kirk clenched his jaw, steadying himself. This wasn't just about them anymore. This wasn't just another fight. This was about Kannon. And no matter what happened next,
Kirk
he would do whatever it took to protect his son.
Kannon. Things have been going crazy for me. I really need support from my mom right now, so I asked her to tag along with me so that I can fill her in on what's going on with me and Kirk. Mommy. Hey, babe. I also asked Rod to meet with me as well. As a lot of you might remember, Rod was my longtime partner and the man that helped me raise Kannon.
Jasmine and I have been together off and on for about 5 years now.
Kirk is the father of Kannon. He's denying everything.
I don't know what you expected from him but that.
Kirk is doing all this because he's shaking in his boots right now. He's trying to discredit me. He's trying to make me out to be a hoe.
You brought him into our life, you gotta deal with the situation.
I'm going to deal with Kirk how I see fit. Already filed the paperwork, and he will be served.
Rod views Kannon as his flesh and blood. Rod's picking him up to watch him when I have to work. Like he's been there a whole lot. So let's get to it. You know, me and Kirk have been in this child support court situation for over a year now.
Right.
The first time I went through it, I kind of let it go because I let him convince me to.
Yeah.
And this time around, I'm not budging. He gives me $1,000 a month.
What? That's crazy.
$1,000 a month. I don't understand it. Like how?
And he's still battling me, saying, "What 8-year-old needs $1,000?"
I thought we finally settled on the money amount a few months back at the Cyphers of the A concert.
So the amount of money that I sent you, that's the number you cool with, right?
Yes.
So we can end this lawyer.
Period. But typical Kirk backed out on our agreement of the amount that he was supposed to give me. So I had to take Kirk to court to get a reasonable amount of child support because $1,000 a month just isn't doing it. We had our preliminary trial and Kirk is now trying to countersue for full custody.
Full custody?
Stop it.
I can count on my hand in the last year how many times he's seen Kannon.
I don't know where the delusion lies because he really thinks that he goes above and beyond. You just started getting Kannon that one weekend a month.
Kannon's with me 10 times more than he's ever.
Right. Exactly.
This delusion is just going above and beyond. Kannon calls that man Yaya. He don't even call me dad.
Daddy.
He calls me dad because he wants so bad to identify with a father figure.
Yeah.
And it's not making sense to him because I don't even see you, man. So like custody is nuts.
The fact that Kirk is going for full custody is up to me. Kannon doesn't even know how he fits into your family, into your life as it is. In my heart, I feel like it's just another tactic that he's pulling
Most definitely.
to get away from paying me whatever he's supposed to pay me, or maybe he's trying to scare me into settling. But that man does not want full custody because he was offered 2 weekends a month and didn't even want that.
He's mad because you called him out.
Kirk is doing this because he's mad and he doesn't want to pay child support. But now he's not the only one that's mad. Now I'm mad. What he's doing by countersuing me for full custody is fucked up. If he thought I was calling him names before, oh, you just wait, baby. I just feel like I'm at my wit's end.
There better be some kind of civilized
I
solution.
tried. I done chased Rashida around at one point. Now I'm not chasing Rashida around. Now her friends want me to chase her around and did that. Backfired. Rashida don't want to talk to me. Like, I'm done.
So I don't want you to give up on it. I know the court might be the final say so, but at the end of the day, y'all gonna have to work this out. I just want for Kannon to have a good relationship with his father. I want for y'all to have a good relationship because at the end of the day, Kannon deserves that. At this point, they need an olive branch. They need something.
I'll never.
Wow.
Kirk had spent so much time trying to talk to Jasmine, hoping she would understand why he had made this decision. He wanted her to see that every step he took was for Kannon's future, to give their son the stability and security he deserved. But no matter how hard he tried to explain, she wasn't listening. She refused to hear him. The truth was too painful for her to accept, and she wasn't ready to face it. Her breathing grew fast and uneven, her chest rising and falling as anger took hold of her. Then, without warning, she snapped. In a sudden outburst of frustration, she grabbed a vase from the table beside her and hurled it against the wall. The glass shattered instantly, pieces flying in all directions. The sound of impact echoed through the room. Kirk instinctively flinched, but he didn't move away. He couldn't. He knew this wasn't the time to show fear, but Jasmine wasn't done. The anger she had kept bottled up for months finally erupted. It was as if something inside her had broken free, and now she was letting it all out. She started grabbing anything she could reach, picture frames, books, dishes, and throwing them with force. Furniture was overturned, glass cracked, and splintered, and the once peaceful room became a mess of destruction. It was as if she believed that by breaking everything around her, she could somehow destroy the painful truth she refused to accept. "This is my house. This is my family!" she screamed, her voice rising higher and higher. "I won't let you take him away from me!" Kirk didn't back away. Instead, he stepped forward, hands raised slightly in an attempt to calm her down. His heart ached as he looked at her. Not with anger, but with sadness. This wasn't the woman he had once loved. This wasn't the Jasmine who had once laughed with him, held their son with warmth, and dreamed of a future together. This was a version of her consumed by fear, by pain, by the desperate need to hold on to control. "Jasmine, please," he said, softly. "Stop. Just stop." But she wasn't listening. She wasn't seeing reason, wasn't seeing the love and sacrifice behind his actions. All she could see was the sense of betrayal, the overwhelming feeling of losing something she wasn't ready to let go of. Then suddenly she turned and ran for the stairs. Kirk's heart pounded as he rushed after her, panic gripping him. By the time he reached the top, he saw her standing at the window. The sound of breaking glass sent a chill through his body. "Jasmine," he shouted, his voice shaking. He rushed forward, watching as she reached for the latch. Her eyes were full of something he couldn't quite define: pain, desperation, maybe even relief. Then, with one last look, she threw herself toward the open window. In that moment, Kirk realized this wasn't just about the custody battle. She wasn't just running from the idea of losing Kannon. She was running from everything: their past, their broken love, and the unbearable weight of the life she could no longer control.